Okay, so just to start things off, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Julie. Um, Currently a student, and I just wanted to briefly go over some confidentiality points. Everything that you see in here is 100% confidential, unless I feel that you may hurt yourself or somebody else, and then I have to report it to the proper authorities. So, if there's anything else that you need to ask me, feel free to ask. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And I was just wondering what brings you in here today.
Well, there's a certain member of my family that I looked up to my whole life had recently been betrayed. Like my trust is he's betrayed my trust. Actually betrayed everything. So yeah, it's been kind of bothering me. Like it's been angering me. It's making me sad. One minute I'm sad, one minute I'm angry, and then um, sometimes I'm really short. I don't know. I guess it's like a roller coaster of emotions, really. But it's not as bad now as it was before. Before this, we're going on like a few months now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the reason why, right? What happened and stuff. Is that what you want to get to? Like, so
Sure, if
in
that's what
great
you'd like
detail.
to discuss.
Yeah, that is. So, um, yeah, I don't know my uncle, right? So he's been my uncle like my whole life, but like a father figure. Since I was young, he taught me how to make a value, like the value of dollar, how to work, my work ethic, basically how to like about my because I'm native.
Mm-hmm.
Show me how to do sweat lodges and stuff like that. Yeah, just fun things like that, right? And he's kind of like a hard man too at the same time because when he grew, how he grew up, his family dynamics and stuff. He lost his mother at a young age. He was in foster homes and stuff like that, in a jail, you know. So he doesn't really know how to touch base with his feelings and stuff like that and express them properly. Right? He's more of a hard man, like, oh, don't cry, grandma, don't cry, just not tough it out, right, right, this and that. Whereas I'm like opposite that way, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I care about him, so well, yeah. I guess that's why I say I don't care about it, but really I do because otherwise I wouldn't be hurt by it. It probably wouldn't really bother me as much for as long. So I thought I could just kind of like shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. But at the same time, it's like the more I shake it off, it's just like the more he's. It's kind of like comes to mind. I even try to contact him and say, hey, listen, like I forgive you for. I even tried to do that, and that kind of like backfired on me. Like you turn around to piss me off even more, and I'm like, why did I even do that? Because I felt like I shouldn't have did that, but it felt like a right thing to do, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Do you think maybe being by pissed off that there's an underlying feeling to that as opposed to being angry?
Yeah, but I don't like getting being sad. I don't want. I'm not. It doesn't. It doesn't make me sad. I can't really say it pisses me off anymore. It's more like what is wrong with you? And then I don't know, to somebody that I looked up to so long and just you know
Mm-hmm.
go behind. Like I have boundaries when it comes to like my women. Okay, women I've dated, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like okay, well with that I don't rather not have somebody um, because it's like if that person is with that person after the fact, then it's like, oh, well, what the fuck, was there something wrong? Pardon my language. Was there something going on, or was there? How are you looking at this person while I was with them, or this and that? But I might not. I don't care about that person, but with him, it betrays my trust. It betrayed. It was like something like I never thought I'd have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah. So
So
and
relationships with ex-girlfriends?
no, with him, honestly, like I guess if I was with somebody and I'd be like, hey, this is one of my best friends, and I've done this before when I was younger, stupid. I was with somebody, and, Like,
Mhm.
kind of, kind of, yeah. Family members involved, and yeah, I don't know. I guess it kind of like goes around, comes around type thing. But at the same time, it's just like I never thought, yeah.
So he's kind of been like a father role model in your
Yeah,
life.
exactly. Like you don't expect something like that from a dad, from your dad. Like obviously, I
Mhm.
give him the honor of calling him dad. Like that's something I give to him, not something that. I mean, he earned it, but I took it away really quickly too. And in his eyes, I just can't. It doesn't seem like I'm an addict, so it doesn't seem like I'm not an active addict, but I'm a recovering addict. And in his eyes, there's just no getting better. So when I start snapping out of my depressed state that I was in for a while due to a breakup, he was more or less like, "What's wrong with you? You're high, you're high, you're high." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Why? Because I'm not depressed and not talking and stuff like that. Would you even want to see me sad?
Mhm.
Like, what is the problem?"
So it's not just him breaking boundaries. There's also other underlying issues there when it comes to that relationship,
I
particularly.
guess, but I mean, it's all. But I mean, I've messed up so many times too, and there's so many things like. I mean, even when I'm a good person, I'm always the bad guy too. At the same time, no one doesn't. Everybody doesn't see your change. A lot of people remember you for who you are and what you've done, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So there's a few things though going on there with that particular relationship, correct?
I guess so.
The breaking the
I mean, I'm
boundaries.
the my family. I'm the best way I could describe it. In my family, I'm the badass of the family, and I don't want to be the badass anymore. So I guess there's certain things that I've been expecting your whole life that you know I don't have anybody else to blame but myself for my doings. I hold myself totally accountable, obviously. But
When you say badass, what kind of characteristics comes with that?
violence, disrespect. I consider myself a leader, so I don't really follow anybody. But I've hurt people with my hands, mental, physically, emotionally. I've yeah, I can be an asshole. And with communication wise, I have a very pretty dirty mouth when I really want to hurt somebody. I don't have to really touch them to hurt them. I'm manipulative.
And where do you think you might have learned that kind of behavior though?
Well, I don't know, maybe it's hereditary because my dad was like that. But I learned a lot of it from my mother. I learned a lot, like growing up, like how to take care of my sister at a young age and really young age. Make sure she was hungry and stuff, and almost out getting drunk and stuff. But I mean, it was always just me, mom, and my sister. I was raised by two women, with two women my whole
Mhm.
life. I never had a father figure growing up. So when my uncle, he started to make that was like that's how I looked at him. And I come to the point where I could just tell him there would be so much I'd be scared to tell him about, like when it came to drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. But then it just came like that was the only person I could go to when it came to like talking and opening up with things like that, and without being judged because he's had so many years, like 20 something years and under experience or sobriety
Mhm.
with nothing, no job, no drug, anything, and he just got with a woman and started messing up, started drinking, started snorting dope, smoking weed,
So
and
there's all kinds of different relationships in your life surrounding your family and stuff like that that could be contributing to certain feelings that you're feeling.
pardon.
There's different kind of relationships surrounding your whole life that could
Oh,
contribute to like certain behaviors and stuff like that and
yeah,
things
but
that
I
you go
just
through
want
now.
yeah, but I want to talk about just I don't like to open up too much, you know, so I only have a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
And I don't have,
And it's your time to
Yeah,
discuss whatever
I
you
know,
want.
but I have mother issues, daddy issues, brother issues, sister issues, friend issues. A lot of fucking issues. And honestly, yeah, I don't like to. Like I said, I'm an addict myself. Not active, but recovering, and
Mhm.
too much overload for me. That's why I'm here.
So what do you think your end goal is? What do you want to get out of this at the end of it?
What I did a session?
No, at
Or,
the like, what do you want to achieve? What is your goal?
well, I want a year sobriety.
You'd like
That's I'm going to achieve a year
Mhm.
sobriety, but I can only speak for today, which I don't know if that makes any sense to you. Yeah, my main goal is to achieve sobriety for 1 year.
So would you like to braze on these topics? Just jump around like that to kind of get it all out there? Like with your mother, your sister, your brother, your
What do you mean,
father. Like just briefly talk about it, or is there any
Well, with my dad,
specific
he wasn't
topics?
really around. He wasn't around at all growing up. My mom, I was always mad at my dad my whole life. My dad was only around for 25 years. I was like 5 years old and dipped. My mom took us on like a kind of a drunken roller coaster, I guess you could say. Yeah. She overdosed on pills, and they found her with her whole medication bottle in her hand. She ate like 50 Valiums. Yeah, I made a
Wow.
choice. Yeah, I made a choice. I don't know. I caught my mind as I sat there and looked at her while she was like breathing very slowly, very shallowly, about to die. And I remember thinking, like, should I even call for you, or should I just feel like I should just let you go. Maybe you'll feel better.
How old were you when that happened?
12, 13, sorry.
That's some heavy stuff for
Oh, that's just a little bit of it.
a young child to go through.
Yeah. I was young, and I was 13, but in mind, like, had 18. I was 18 years old in mind, you know.
So you feel like you might have had to grow up faster than you should have?
Yeah, well, I had to take care of my sister. Somebody had to. I wasn't really there to do it. And I was sexually abused multiple times growing up, and I couldn't really. I didn't want that to happen to my sister. So I was like the dog of the house.
So, with given all of that, at the end of these sessions, what do you want to achieve from these?
Well, those things bother me, but they don't. They don't like I don't know. To be honest with you, but I know talking about it helps me. Does help me feel better.
So you want to feel a little bit better,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit lighter?
Yeah, for sure. How to carry around such a load and stuff.
For
Like
sure.
I'm a poet. I'm a poet too, so I do poetry. I haven't in a while, but I think I might take that back up again.
Why'd you stop?
I stopped because actually I just wrote one not too long ago about a woman that I know, and child of my mother, or mother of my child. Sorry. And I didn't know, like, I was like, oh, I'm not, if I'm into this poetry stuff anymore, and it just kind of flowed out. So I was like, oh, bring on. And yeah, I don't know. I just stopped.
So you
Because
don't know.
I was looking for an outlet. That's how I found that. I was looking for an outlet, and when I did it, when I started poetry, I was in a 5.5 month treatment program. So when I started doing that, it was like my whole life story spilled on paper. That's when I realized that I was really angry with my mother, not my dad.
So when you say that when you realized that you weren't angry at your dad, but you were angry at your mother, like what does that imply?
Well, I didn't apply forgiveness really, because I was carrying shit around my whole life that I should not have been carrying around. I should have been able to let go.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing left to do was forgive. I already was wrecking my whole life with drugs and alcohol and out of jail because of all this stuff I just never let out. So I've hurt so many people.
Mm-hmm. Such a heavy note to leave things on, but we'll pick up where we left off next week,
Okay.
and I'll make sure that we cover everything that you'd like to discuss. All right, thank you.
Well, okay.
It was nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.